Sorry I'm dressed like a hobo. You get what you get. Been too busy to do much of anything. Almost missed that one. I'm breaking from the box since I'm getting ready for turning stone. I really am terrible at breaking from the box though. Let me see if I can see chat. How do I see chat? Oh, here we go. Chat. Yeah. How do I? It's not showing me nothing. Oh well. All right, try this cut break a little bit more. One's a little low, which means I need to catch it a little bit more full, I believe. Spin to win on this one. I didn't throw it enough. I had to catch it fat and spin it in to stay on the 3. Probably should have taken my medicine and just made it. Come on. That's why I turn the camera on. It makes me nervous. It definitely is different than practicing without it. Camera will bring the dog out in you. I'll get used to it though. I don't know if it'll show me old chat messages or not. Well, let's move a little bit further over. See if we can get this one to go. Cut those a little too thick. A little too thick. Right there. Close enough. Trying to get behind it. That'll work. How'd I hit this? Get up there. Not bad. Ah. Hit it. Trying to use the 9 to kill it. That did not work. I overcut it. I was trying to hit the 9 in the face and kill it behind the 5. Close. Oh, I caught the tit. That was going to kill off this 7 just like I wanted it. Did not think that was going to hit the 3 if I'm honest. Whoa. Ah. Same guy. It's hard practicing the cut break and hard practicing the break in general for a tournament on used cloth. It's not racking very well. Just trying to see if there's any, just want to make sure I don't miss any messages, but there we go. I have to slide this over to see it though. I have an 845 carbide. Hang on. An 845 carbide mandrels that I purchased for finishing. do you think I should get some .840 for sanding or not necessary? For the mandrels, I think you mean like whenever you, do you mean for whenever you mount it to the cue and you're spinning it and you're clearing? What I did is I took my maintenance mandrel and I chamfered the end of it so where it meets the joint is very skinny so that my overspray or my over clear coat doesn't get on the mandrel at all. And it really solved all those problems. If that's what you mean, that's the fix, is to chamfer your mandrel so that it's very small where it meets the joint. That one wasn't even close. I had those hopping though. Oh, I almost cut that in. I was hoping that like hit it on the hop a little bit. I was aiming fat at it. I shouldn't have. Ah. Now these are the ones my dad hits super good. See if I can get one froze up here. That is about as good as you can hit that. So if I can hit those as good as he does, that would be an amazing addition to my game. I know that. That was a good save because that 7 kind of sits in a bad spot as well. Makes this even harder. Sort of afraid of that getting away from me, and I underhit it a bit. If you noticed, I overcut that into the overcut side of the pocket to stay off the 8 as best I could. Low. I might have to vacuum this cloth, clean it, and wipe it down with something. It's really racking bad. It wasn't like this the other day. I don't know what happened. But it is making it very tough to make balls on the break. Yeah, if that's what you're meaning, then yeah, I would take, you can sand it. If you don't have a carbide bit to chamfer your mandrel, you can sand it, but if the best thing you can do is get a carbide bit and you can chamfer that thing yourself. And when you get it real skinny at the joint, it saves you so much time whenever you're doing clear. I I cannot get that one to go. That was thin, and it still went high. I'll take it. Trying to get closer to the 3, but I took care of the 1 at least. Got lucky. I made a good hit. You're allowed to get lucky when you make a good hit. Since these balls are on the same line, you can just split this distance in half. So you can essentially come here and just split that difference in half. It'll give you a square hit on the 1. Now here you want to draw back so you don't have to crash. So you want to bring this back a little bit. You stay on this side of the 2, you got to do a lot of work. Feel better about the, I don't know. I think I like drawing this and playing the 4-8. Not now I don't. I'm supposed to stay on the other side of the 4. Now I gotta help to control this as best I can. That was terrible. I was trying to hit the 8 thin and bring the 4 down here. I shot that way too fast. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, I catch the tip. Nope, I don't think if I hit the 4 fat to get it to go down behind the 5, it's a double kiss. So, boy, I put myself in a terrible spot there. I got down to 1 stroke that combination. That was awful. One stroke that too. I caught that too fat. Oh well. Come on. Definitely good to practice with the camera on though. Makes me get nervous. Thanks. Yeah, I worked hard on this room, and we got the post moved over. It's a lot better now than it was even a week ago. You can probably see how close. Look how close that pole was. So it made a big difference moving that. And to get your shaft M cord, if it's a Killwood, I'll do it probably. Maple's a little bit sketchy. If I have M core maple that I'm not familiar with, I worry that it's going to warp or have issues. But yeah, just find me on Facebook or on the website and shoot me a message, and we'll figure it out on from there. But it'd be like $50 labor plus the cost of like the tip that you would need to put on it. So be looking at, depending on what tip you want, $80 to $100 probably. Man, these are just racking terribly. I'm gonna have to get the magic rack out. This cloth isn't that old either. Come on. No. Get a little loosey-goosey with that extension. That was a super good job there. I didn't spin it enough. That is my miss. I should just cut those enough instead of trying to spin them in. Just cut them in. I'll try to spin them in. Oh, that is frustrating. After hitting that 4-ball as good as I did. Yikes. Tough not playing other people. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that Killwood for sure then, because they're real stable, so I have no worries about doing that. Yikes. Man, I jumped out of my seat. I'm not quite ready yet. Lots of practicing left before I go to the turning stone, I'll tell you that. At least I froze it. You're never out of the game if you hit each shot good. Oh, I spun it so much. Come on. Twice I faded a little bit of left on it. I don't know why I did that. Glad I hit the safety. Don't get straight. I hit the shot to win the game twice, and then I missed that. Hard. I can tell I'm nervous. My hands are sweaty. What is happening? It's weird. I didn't miss a ball for 40 minutes down here. I turned the camera on and I can't get out. Always been a choker. Yeah, Don, it's a hike, isn't it? Plus, I live out here in the middle of nowhere. Oh, come on. I'm just going to start hitting them square. That's how I always used to do. I'm kicking it in and running out. Getting tired of missing. Nope. just going to practice my head-on brake, I think. Thought I could get there. It was a pretty easy out, and the mistake was on that one ball. I just hit the one ball too far, got on the wrong side of the two, and that turned that from an easy out into that. Pull is frustrating. Thanks, Scott. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. Super chat. That is a great. Dawn, my Killwood with the actual 3/8 ferrule is my lowest deflection. Then my lowest deflection carbon is the 11/8. The thicker you go on the carbon, and that's with any company, even Predator on their promo, you know, the thicker the shaft goes, the more deflection you get from about any carbon. But my lowest deflection shaft would be like a 12 or 12.2 millimeter Killwood with the ferrule. And then my 11/8 Killwood or carbon is very, very low deflection as well, just like that. Then the carbon 12.3 would be like my third lowest deflection. And tied right around there would be the Killwood with the vault plate design. Has a little bit more deflection as well. Not much. We're talking just tiny amounts, but the carbons are tough. If you get up over 12.4 with any carbon, you know, the deflection comes up a little bit. But I really have been liking the Killwood. I switched back to the Killwood, and I do like it. Thought I figured something out there on the break, but nobody wants to see me pushing out, I know that. I've been missing these. I usually shoot these where I hit them fat and I spin them in, but this is like my last shot that comes back when I take a long break from pole. So I'm going to try to hit this fat, but spin it in so that I can get the 8 to move where I want it. Oh, how do you hit it and not make it? Oh, didn't have to leave a shot anyway. All right, just for fun, we're making the 6. I am practicing, and my hand is sweating like I'm playing a match. All because of you. All because of you guys watching. I'm such a dog. Ugh. Let me show you guys something actually. So this rack is a custom handmade rack. We had a patron at the pole room that was like a crazy warp speed woodworker, and if you look, this is all layered one piece. I don't know how good you can see that, but he slowly over time kept taking wood and wrapping it around a mold so that whenever the wood cured, it was the exact shape that he wanted to be a perfect rack. And I tell you what, this rack is probably, I don't know, 30 years old, 28 or 30 years old. And we had it at the pool room for a while where people would like throw it under the table and everything. That's the only reason it has some of these marks. If it would have just been in our house or something, this thing, after almost 30 years, would look flawless. And I tell you what, it's still, to this day, when you rack the balls, it fits the top 3. The whole rack fits in here better than any rack I've ever used. I'm not kidding you. His name is Justin Schmidt, one of the best dudes ever. Funny, good pool player too. Handmade rack. And he wrapped it with, he kept getting the wood wet and he wrapped it and let it shrink around a mold. Pretty amazing. Yeah, it's the table's racking bad. The rack is awesome. And while we're on the topic of Justin Schmidt, I'm pretty sure, hang on, let me see. I play with a thoroughbred medium soft currently, but here, let me take you out of the holder here real quick. This will take 2 seconds. And come over here, and this is something else. He drew the, so not only did he make that rack, Justin also drew this, and it was kind of like a representation of our pool room, sort of. You would come in, and this whole area over here would be lined with what we called railbirds, like Railbird TV. We've been calling people that since the 90s. So all the railbirds would hang out over here, and gambling and stuff back in the day would be over here. But what we thought was hilarious was my dad saying, and it says $2 a chair, pulls free, because we had a whole bunch of people that would come in and just sit around and hang out. And we always thought that was funny. And then he also made us this, I believe. No, okay, so this was a different patron at the pool room made us this. But this was really neat. You know, proprietor Dan B. Mulholland, which is my dad, shave and haircut, 2 bits, Johnstown, PA. And then he had this really old school table. We had one a little bit, not real similar, but kind of similar to that for sale on the back. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, those are 2 things that they painted for us. And then he also made us that rack, which was pretty awesome. Pretty cool memorabilia. Good memories for sure. What a great way to grow up. Gambling in a pool room. Does it get any better? All right, get you back up here. See if I can put a couple more good outs together. We have a couple kids over for a play date, so I'm on a limited time schedule down here. They're going to come down here and want to play in a little bit. So. 5 was in. I might play some straight pull. Let me know in the comments if you want to see. I had a 44 the other night, followed by like a 22 or 3, which is pretty tough on a diamond, actually. After watching the International Open for straight pull, you know, there wasn't all that many high runs. I was about to break that out, and it lays dead. That'd be something. Imagine the opponent sitting in the corner, and he's sitting there and he sees it's a dead one, and you break it out like an idiot. I almost did. Yeah, back to that comment. Thoroughbred medium soft. I do really like it. There's a bunch of good tips on the market, though. You know, you don't have to be picky. Zan, Precision, G2, How. You know what? I just tried that Witten tip. It was really good, too. But there's a ton of good tips out there. You just have to find one. It doesn't matter what brand, in my opinion. Now, like Kamui and a couple of them, they do glaze. You got to stay away from that. If you see that your tip is glazing pretty quickly and you have to pick it and scuff it a lot, I would cut that tip off and get a new one immediately. I would not be risking having a tip that's glazing. Get that out of there. You just need to find a tip that doesn't glaze, and the hardness and durometer of it is what you like to feel when you hit the cue ball and what type of grip you get. But there's a slew of good tips out there. But like I said, the 2 things, if it won't stop mushrooming and if it glazes, you got to get rid of it. Like, that's the 2 main things I have as far as my thoughts on a tip. Niner. Take it. needs to cut brake and make the one on the side when he can swing 24, 25 miles an hour. That's what my dad always tells me. He always tells me, quit cut braking. First off, probably because I suck at it, not because he's probably not complimenting how good I brake head on. He's probably telling me I suck at cut braking. Go 8. This plays a little funny. Got lucky. I didn't want to hit it that hard. I had no plans on coming that far. How'd I hit that? Miss it. Big up. Go. All right. Whoa. Did not want to get that close to the 9. Take a victory lap. If you don't know what a victory lap is, that's something that Johnny Archer always preached. When you get your flow messed up or like something pops in your head that's negative or overly positive, something just sort of feels off about the inning, that's what Johnny Archer always said, is take a victory lap, get that out of there. Oh, get in there. Oh, almost 2. I would probably push, knock the 9 in here, but nobody wants to watch that, right? We're going to even get sillier with it. I was going to try to kick the 9 in. We're going to try to jump billiard this in. Jump billiard. Not quite. Overcut. not bad. Not great, but not bad. Got it a little bit thin. I should have dug that under there further. At least I got the one to the end rail. Hit it way too fat. Not good. Of course, I hit a good shot before that forced that, so. Why are my hands sweating so bad? That's a tough shot. I might have played safe there if it was for reals. Come on, Danny. What in the world? I played so good before I started the stream. Now I'm dogging it. Huh. How did that buckle? That hit deep in the pocket, actually. I'll go back to the regular break shot. I was just trying something a little different. Oh, not good. Not my best outing. It's all right, though. That actually got a little funny. extension. What a terrible shot. What a terrible shot. I faded on like an extra tip and a half of English. Yikes. But that fell apart on that shot that I shot here and tried to come out. And I came up short on that first key ball. So then I was scrambling from there. The 3 might beat the 14 here, even if I can cut it. All right, start over. Not that I plan on going real high tonight, but I'll move this over in the corner and keep score. Give me extra motivation. I probably don't have much time because the kids are going to want to come down here. Hit the ball, you wuss. Get the 6 to here, I'm free. Simmer. It's actually a 15. Because I missed that break ball last time. That was bad. I was trying to chip the 3, and I didn't hit it, so now I'm in trouble here. Oh, darling. Oh, that ain't it. That's what sucks about saving this till the end. Just a bad stroke. That's gonna happen. I faded the wrong English on it. I don't know. Instead of low right, I faded low left on it. What a squirrel. What a squirrel. Ah. Couldn't reach it. Damn it. 29. Ugh. Well, that was my knock that the kids are going to come down and go crazy. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the donation. So awesome for the super chat. And I guess catch you guys on the next one.